I was just about to start out the video, and Molly says, I read a little part of the title. I said, oh my gosh, you might just ruin it. And I say, what'd you read? And she says, Cracker Jacker. And I'm like, that's awesome, because there's nothing that says Cracker Jacker on there. Okay, so the stupidest laws turned out pretty good, so we're doing another kind of one. It's stupidest criminals, and it should turn out pretty good. I mean, I hope so. Okay, so number one, I was about to say Cracker Jackers too. Number one, Melissa Peters was getting ready to take her son to school. She was in her car, but before she could get in her car, she found a man with a gun pointing at her face. Courtesy of a 17-year-old Maganga. That's first name and last name.
That's the person that was pointing the gun at her?
Yes. He had no interest in the mother or the child. He got into the car, was about to pull out, and he realized there was only one problem. The car had a blank. So, was it a lock? Well, it's actually just one blank, actually. Was it a lock? Was it a manual transmission? Was it an extra child? Or was it a foreign layout?
I'm gonna go with lock, because that sounds stupid.
Lock? You are... it's actually a little bit surprising, but you actually got it incorrect. It was a manual transmission. It's much more boring than that. Which means that it was a... Look, they had to drive a stick.
We didn't know
how to use the stick.
Hey, it did say cracker.
Don't look. Carjacker.
Carjacker.
Carjacker. It says carjacker can't drive a stick.
Okay, well, I read it as Cracker Jack.
Anyways, after several minutes of failing to move the car more than a few yards, Maganga had decided to make a run for it. Police officers went after him on foot, probably out of desire to make things more fair, and had no problem catching up to him a few blocks away. At least he avoided a weapons charge, as the gun he used turned out to be a fake gun. Okay. Wow. So, Darren Kimpton was a criminal, obviously, a stupid criminal. He selected a home that had already been burglared earlier that day.
Burglared?
Yeah, which means... burgled. That's actually the word used. It had already been burgled earlier that day. So, it had already been burgled. It's just a fun word to say, burgled. I think that's my new favorite word, burgled. Okay, so it had been burgled earlier that day. So it had already been burgled.
Why would you
He didn't know. He had selected it probably earlier. Okay. The owner had called the police, and officers were at the scene investigating the previous burglary when Kimpton broke in. So it was a house full of cops that broke into. He tried to make a run for it, but was captured after a brief struggle. So, how do you try to rob a house full of police officers?
How do you not know this? Like, you walk in, you see the police sirens and police officers and stuff.
How do you not see that? That wasn't Kimpton's first unsuccessfully burglary attempt of the day. He previously tried to break into a nearby house, but failed to do so. He did, however, manage to break some glass, cut himself, and leave blank at the scene. So cops easily linked the crime to him.
Blood?
His ID, his keys, his blood, or his pants? Which one?
Previous answer of blood, because he cut his hand.
Okay, that's a good answer, and that's correct.
I knew it!
Okay. A good disguise obviously needs to hide your true identity. Furthermore, a good disguise needs to be inconspicuous so you can blend in with the crowd. This disguise was chosen by Dennis Hawkins, 48 years old, Pittsburgh man, who decided to rob a bank but failed on both accounts. His disguise consisted of a woman's blonde wig and blank blank.
A 48-year-old man wearing a woman's blonde wig?
It was a woman's blonde wig and blank blank. Was it high heels, a baby doll, clown pants or a turtleneck? Which one is the correct answer? And if you need a hint, because you only get one guess, if you need a hint, I have a picture for you.
I want the picture.
You want the picture? You want the picture? Okay, don't look down here. Look down here. That was a disguise.
Okay, read me the option choices again.
Baby doll,
Okay, baby.
clown pants, high heels, or a turtleneck.
That's not a turtleneck.
Oh, dang it! The picture revealed. Well, that's your hint then.
Okay.
Not that.
So clown pants.
What if it's just like a really
feel
short?
like it's either
What if
baby
it's
or-
a petite turtleneck? I mean, like a short turtleneck. I mean, maybe
It
the
was
turtle
a very
wasn't that
ugly
tall.
shirt still, but and he had
I mean,
a
that
beard.
could be.
He was wearing
I know, just wait.
a blonde woman's wig, and he had a beard.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it was a baby.
His disguise consisted of a women's blonde wig and clown pants.
Dang it!
Far away from inconspicuous and blending in with the crowd. The first problem was that his get-up revealed his face, which was captured on CCTV surveillance. You might guess that Mr. Hawkins wanted to fool people into thinking he was a woman. In that case, he should have considered getting rid of his mustache and goatee.
I knew it.
The second problem was his disguise was not exactly inconspicuous. Inconspicuous. Right after the police released a description to the public, a gas station attendant called to report someone sporting that unique look trying to steal a car. And as if the man were not noticeable enough, when the police arrived, they found him covered in red paint from dye pack exploding in his face.
Ow.
Look, post-robbery, he tried to mug a woman and get away in her car. She just ran off, taking the keys with her. So, that was a good move.
These people are so dumb.
Okay, how dumb, like on the dumb scale, how do you rate these people so
Okay,
far?
I feel like the last person was a 10.
A 10 in like really smart or
Really dumb.
Okay.
They broke glass and hurt their hand before, then went to the crime scene and robbed.
That was a different person, but yeah. Klaus Schmitz tried to rob Schmitz. Schmitz. I didn't even look at Klaus Schmitz. Klaus Schmitz tried to rob a bank in Berlin by walking in with a pistol and demanding money. So far, this is pretty standard for a bank heist. However, as the robbery progressed, the bank employees noticed that the criminal was acting rather strangely. At one point, one of them asked the robber if he needed a bag, and he replied with, "You're dang right, it's a gun, a real gun," screaming at everyone. This made them realize Schmitz had a noticeable handicap. He was blank.
Blank.
Okay, here's
Do
the
you
choices.
need a bag? You're darn right this is a gun.
You're darn right this is a real gun. Okay, so he had a bad sense of style, like Molly. He was blind, or he was deaf, or he was a small child.
Okay, only one of these makes sense. It's obvious that he's a child. Just kidding, no. He's deaf.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So-
that doesn't make any sense. Him being blind.
Dang right, this is a real gun. Taking advantage, one of the employees set off the alarm. Schmitz remained oblivious, even while the incredibly loud alarm was going off and the police approached the bank. The robber remained calm and patient, occasionally spouting threats. When the police arrived, they quickly took the criminal into custody. However, Schmitz found a way to turn a negative into a positive. He tried to sue the bank for exploiting his disability. So everyone should be able to rob a bank, right?
Really quick. Don't rob a bank if you're deaf.
Yeah,
Don't rob a
kids.
bank in general.
Yeah,
But still,
kids, don't do that. It's
be
bad.
smarter than this.
Yeah, be smarter than these dumb criminals. Be
But
a
still,
be a
you
smart criminal.
You can be dumb robbing a bank because you're already dumb if you're robbing a bank.
Be a smart criminal. No, I'm just kidding. Armed robber Andrew Hennels was caught after he boasted on Facebook about his plans to raid a blank. In a post which
Gas
included a selfie, a picture of a knife, and the words "doing Tesco over" with periods in between all of it. I have no idea what that means. Okay, so his plans were to raid a blank. What do you think this is? Is it a Chuck E. Cheese where he could finally get the fluffy unicorn he always wanted? Was it a supermarket? Was it a Google Hangout, which makes no sense? Or was it a Walgreens so he could get a snack? Because he was hungry and it was his nap time.
What was the second one again?
The second one was a supermarket, then there's Google Hangout, then there's Walgreens, and then there's Chuck E. Cheese's where he could finally get his fluffy unicorn his mom never let him get.
Okay, I'm gonna go. The obvious answer is the unicorn.
Actually not.
I'm kidding, but the answer is number 2.
Okay, the supermarket?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. A man suspected of arson and vandalism sent a selfie.
Wait. If your kid watching arson is setting the house on fire or anything on fire,
Don't
do that.
But I mean, fire is fun, but don't do it.
Hey, don't.
I mean, if you're at a bonfire, then like make a small torch. Don't make a large torch.
Ben, you're not doing anyone any favors.
Okay, a man suspected of arson and vandalism, probably me, sent a selfie to the police in Ohio, in the United States, because he found the photo on his arrest warrant to be unflattering. Okay, look. So here's the top one. Look at that's the one he sent in. He looks pretty sweet, doesn't he? And then this is the one that was unflattering. I guess it's pretty unflattering. But look at the top one. Look at the top one.
Oh, dude,
Okay.
that picture is so ugly.
Okay, it says Donald Chippa texted police a photo of himself from Ohio. Here's a better one than that one's terrible. He told a local radio station, "Man, they just did me wrong. They put a picture out that made me look like I was a blank blank." Well, actually just a blank. A normal guy without superpowers? A Thundercat? A Star Trek character? Or I look like I was janky? So is it janky? A Thundercat, a Star Trek character, or a normal guy without superpowers? Which he does look like he doesn't have superpowers. I mean,
Hi, my name's Molly. I'm not a cat. Like this picture looks like I'm a normal person without superheroes. Well, why would you mention that you don't have superpowers?
because I just want to tell you, so you don't have to be nervous around me.
See,
I don't have
get
superpowers.
that. You don't
So you
have to
take
save. You can save your breath.
Okay. So, what do you think? What
was the last one again?
Janky?
Janky. I'm gonna go with
They
janky.
put a picture out that made me look like I was a janky, like I was janky, a Star Trek character, a Thundercat, a normal guy without superpowers. Which one is
I'm
it?
gonna say janky.
Incorrect, actually.
Aw,
It was a
a
Thundercat.
Really?
Yeah. You're mouthing the words.
A Thundercat.
Oh, that was the last one. Yeah. Look, after that, he said, so I look like a Thundercat or James Brown on the run. I can't do that. Lima Police Department respond by saying, "We thank him for being helpful, but now we would appreciate it if he would come to speak with us." Later, he was arrested in Florida. So,
Oh, that's funny.
I probably had all the...
He's probably making his way to the police station to tell rant about why his picture's so unflattering.
Man, they just did me wrong. They put that picture out that made me look like I was a Thundercat. How does that make him look like a Thundercat?
Okay, if anyone's ever seen Thundercats, put a picture
Thundercats,
up.
ho!
You gotta put up a picture, right?
Yeah, and then myself with the thing
It's
on
a
it in the thumbnail.
childhood show, Ben. I hated it. I'm just saying.
Their armor literally had indents of their abs.
Cats,
Right, look.
cats that control thunder with abs. With
Because
thunder, and they have sweet abs.
I mean, it sounds like really legit show. I mean, I'm always going, Thundercats, 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 ho! Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of this video
Stay
because
here.
we're gonna have a skit in a minute. So stay after our Stay Harry time. So stay Harry.
And stay here until further.
Notice. Hey kid, that's mine. I'm stealing this. Earlier today, news reporters have caught a man stealing candy from a baby. This is the baby here. What happened, ma'am?
The mean man took my lollipop.
You heard it here, folks. He took her lollipop. Here's a picture of the suspected criminal. If you see, please report and don't be dumb.